I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA, the International Site for Strategic Marketing. Got a lot to talk about today, so fasten your seatbelts. Where I'm starting, you may not think this is news, but a couple other people did on Scott Adams' show. I clipped out a video from Scott yesterday, and so far I have 47,000 views. That's like all the views I've ever had on Twitter put together on one because he shared it, liked it, and shared it. So look out, Twitter. I I'm helping Scott out, and he seems to like it. Anyway, that's the creator of Dilbert, and he also has a master's in economics. In case you don't know. So Amazon announced yesterday on New York, and Congresswoman AOC cheered because she didn't like it for some reason. I think it's in her district. So it's so funny because when a socialist is talking about is stealing wealth from those who have it. You'd think she would have wanted some of Amazon's, but no. Anyway, so they pulled out. They were supposed to add 25,000 jobs, but they said politicians, unspecified, who have made it clear that they oppose our presence and will not work with us, said goodbye. Now, they criticize, however, some parties criticized the city's willingness to play into Amazon's content-wide headquarters search with a bumper incentive package. Now, it's a little bit interesting to me because, I look at pro sports teams. Milwaukee just put up a new arena, a brand new arena, and I remember when the Kohl Center was a brand new arena. And I went to play. I went to the old one when I was a kid, and it seemed pretty big to me. Of course, I was just a kid. Remind me to wash that mug. Anyway, so the argument always gets made that the sports team brings a quality of life. You have to be a pro. You have to have a pro team to have a pro city. No, you have to have. If you don't have a pro team, you're not a pro city. But Green Bay isn't a pro city, and everybody knows it. They're Titletown USA, but that's about it. And so I'm not sure the quality of life brought by a pro team, especially if they're not very good. But every now and then they have a good year, and everybody cheers a little bit. But anyway. But the argument is that we have to keep them. Cities don't even get an equity stake. They don't even get a vote on when the team leaves. So is it Amazon's fault that they have lots of cities across the country offering them stuff to come visit there or come live there? And here's why. Okay, we'll go over here to Singapore. Singapore Management University, which I've never heard of before, but was on the news in the drum, said they are concerned that the next generation prepare to change the way clients work and teach the old guard some new tricks. Okay, yeah, I know. They're always saying that. And then I get calls about what is RFM, and then I get calls about, how do we manage a catalog production team or whatever. That stuff doesn't change. IBM's still pitching the mainframe time sharing. They call it the cloud. Genius. That was genius. I'll give them that. It's genius to call it something totally ridiculous. Like now you're on the cloud. Like when you used to dial into the computer when you're in college and you had to wait for time, that's the cloud. Anyway, Singapore University teaches analytics as part of their marketing major, which I think is a good idea because about 90% of what I do is numbers and spreadsheets and stuff. Not a lot of fun, creative in marketing. Mostly you're just counting up heads after the creatives get done. And hopefully, anyway, but one of their industry partners is Google. Now, this is the interesting part here. Here's an article from Singapore extolling the virtues of working with Google, and at the same time, AOC is kicking Amazon out, the number one forward-thinking retailer in the world, whom everyone wants to copy, kicking them out. I mean, way more than Google. Kicking them out of New York City because they don't like the deal. Something to think about. Something to think about. And at this school, SMU, in their analytics course, it includes 12 weeks of seminars with Google professionals. Now, I can tell you, I have a certification in direct marketing from the University of Missouri, and we had professors, marketing professors, business school professors, and we also had professionals from around the world because it was run by Martin Bear and Bob Stone. And the professionals got rated way high, and the professors got nothing. We had one guy get up and say, "Well, I haven't really done much work in this in the last 20 years, but here's what I can tell you." Unbelievable. Of course, I was the highest rated in that program. Now, here's another one of many, 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 many articles that will tell you what you need to do for your customers. It's no secret that a winning customer experience is now the biggest brand differentiator for retailers and consumer-facing brands as a whole. What does that mean? It's no secret. So right off the bat, he begins with a premise saying, this is the answer for you. We'll get to the reasons for the answer later. Okay. What can retailers and marketers do to ensure a winning customer experience? And then he gets to this, which I think is crazy. Personalization. Okay, I tweeted yesterday or the day before, I tweeted to ESPN. You let me pick my favorite teams. Why don't you pick the teams I hate or the sports I hate? I hate the NBA. Maybe because they forced Milwaukee to put up a new arena. See how this all ties together? I don't care. I don't like the NBA. I don't watch NBA. I love college basketball. Hate NBA basketball. Let me get it off my feed. I would rather personalization meant get rid of the stuff I don't want to look at. But nobody does that. No, they're all about customer journey and experience. This is lies. Go on Netflix. See what they recommend to you. They don't have a clue what I want. And Google know better. Every time my team plays, they send me a, would you like to see the highlights of that? What if they lost? Keep it out of my stream. I don't want to see it if they lost. The best personalization people in the world have no idea what they're doing. Amazon surveyed me years ago and they asked me what kind of books I liked. I said, Christian, hunting, those two topics, let's just say, fishing, They didn't have Christian, they had spiritual. They didn't have hunting, they had outdoor. I got books on Buddhist, I don't know what, recommended to me. I got the weirdest opposite, 180 degrees opposite. Why is there so much hubris that makes you think you can do personalization for me? I don't know what I want next, and you sure don't know what I want next. I should write this guy. Oh, sorry. I think I got a little upset. Now, let's learn something from someone else. What brands can learn from the hot pot chain. And this is great. I just tweeted to that guy who wrote it. This is great. Okay, so the guy founds the hot pot chain. He says he's a former factory worker. He admitted the quality of his product alone wouldn't be enough to build a loyal fan base. So he's starting a restaurant chain, and he says, this is good, but it's not that good. This is the opposite of the hubris of these idiot personalization people. That makes me so angry. What I see in personalization. So what does he do? Instead of saying, we'll tell everybody our food is the best. We'll personalize it to remember what you ordered last time and tell you all the good reviews we get on it, even if you hated it. I don't know what. We'll put it in your Google feed whenever you drive by or your Waze feed. No. Here's what he does. He brings in manicures, car washes, chair massages, shoe shines, and more. Look at that. The other thing he does is he empowers his employees to make suggestions. He generates word of mouth. He probably generates a ton of social media instead of advertising. I'm not saying you can do this, but I think marketers are always trying to pull the puppet strings and manipulate the customer with personalization and with predictive analytics that are going to predict when you're going to want the new car or when you're going to want your next haircut. Oh my gosh, give them a manicure. Give them something of value. And down here he says, let's deliver value. Why do they choose? Think about if your customers aren't receiving top-notch service from your brand, you stand to lose them. Yesterday I talked about segmentation. If you don't treat your customers well, your best customers especially, if you don't do something nice, unexpected, even I send out M&Ms to my clients, the official candy of Miglosh Marketing. If you don't treat them nice, someone else will. Think about this. Why should they choose you instead of Amazon? I hope that keeps you up at night. Go hire some chatbot to tell your customers what they're supposed to think and when they're supposed to buy next. I can't do it for myself. You can't do it for them. Or think about what extra value you could deliver and how maybe you could buy better that value so that you can afford it and your other competitors can't. Think about what leverage you have that's special. What do you have that's special? And ask your employees. Empower your employees. Sorry, I got on a rant. Share this, dang it. I'm not getting enough shares on LinkedIn. You're watching it. Share it.